What is up, you guys? It's Sam here, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about my decision to come off of hormonal birth control and also kind of what I'm doing in this process to heal my body after coming off of years of taking hormonal birth control. So first of all, I was put on birth control when I was 14 years old by a dermatologist because I was struggling with bad acne. So I have been on birth control for like 15 years now, which is wild. I really don't even know what my body or my cycle is like without being on hormonal birth control. And I've kind of finally come to this decision to get off of it because I've more recently been experiencing just some really negative side effects. And I've also been doing a lot of extensive research on my own on all of the negative side effects from hormonal birth control. So I will preface this by saying make sure you're talking with your doctor, make sure that you're doing your own research if you are in this same journey of kind of deciding what birth control is right for you, or if you're maybe deciding about coming off of hormonal birth control yourself. So what I will say with myself is I've been experiencing really bad PMS symptoms that have been lasting like 10 to 14 days. And when I think about it in the grand scheme of things, I'm literally living half of my life struggling with PMS symptoms. And that is just something that is not okay. And I'm over it. I'm fed up. I'm tired of it. I was having, bloating for 10 to 14 days. I was experiencing digestive issues, having really bad mood changes, zero libido, no sex drive. So it's just been kind of a number of all of these really negative side effects. On top of that, I've been reading a lot of studies that are linking depression or mood disorders with taking hormonal birth control. So again, make sure you're doing your own research and talking to your doctor, but this is my journey and I just want to share this with you guys. So after I made this decision to come off of hormonal birth control, the first thing I did is make sure that I finished my current cycle of birth control. So you never want to stop like right in the middle of taking your birth control because we're still trying to keep a regular period and get that normal flow of hormones in our body. So you never just want to like stop right in the middle and be like, okay, screw this, I'm done taking birth control. At least finish out that cycle and then stop taking it after menstruation going into your next cycle. After that, you definitely want to talk about other forms of birth control, especially if you're not ready to have a baby and you are being sexually active. So for me, I am not ready to have a baby. No babies over here. So I did do a lot of research on different forms of non-hormonal birth control. Copper IUD is an option, but it's not something that was really what I wanted. So for me, what I'm currently doing is just tracking my cycle, learning to understand my body, understanding when I'm ovulating and using birth control in that way. There's also some other non-hormonal forms of birth control that you can use during that period of ovulation if you are wanting to have sex. So things like spermicide or Phexxi. There's some other brands out there as well. That's still something that I'm researching a little bit more in, haven't got that far. So I will definitely update you guys and keep you posted if I decide to try some of those other forms. But right now I just started tracking my cycle and using that as a form of birth control. So once you've gotten this far and you've talked about getting off of birth control, figuring out other forms of non-hormonal birth control, then let's talk about the phase of actually coming off the birth control and what you can do to support your body. So the most important thing is understanding that you can support your hormones with a proper lifestyle, diet, and supplement changes. So that's what I'm going to talk about next, is going to be liver detoxification. So our liver is our body's natural detoxification system, and our liver is going to naturally remove toxins out of our body, and it actually removes hormones as well. So just to kind of simplify things a little bit, essentially once your body is done using a hormone, it's going to metabolize and be removed from your body through your liver. However, if your liver is not naturally supported from your lifestyle or your diet, then it can create an issue where these hormones are not properly removed from your body and they're actually reabsorbed back into your bloodstream. This is something that we see really frequently with females, is estrogen dominance, because estrogen is removed through the liver. However, like I said, if that detoxification process is not being supported, that estrogen is going to be reabsorbed back into your bloodstream, and then we start dealing with estrogen dominance. Okay, so anyways, there are two phases to a liver detoxification, and the first one is going to be oxidation. So this is essentially when your liver starts breaking down toxins in your body into less harmful substances. We then have phase 2, which is conjugation, and this is where we're going to be changing those substances into water-soluble substances so we can remove them from the body. So again, simplifying things, essentially breaking down toxins and removing them from your body. Now, liver detoxification, like I said, is something that naturally happens. However, it needs to be supported by various nutrients, vitamins, and minerals that we can get from a standard diet. However, in our American standard diet, we typically don't get all of these nutrients and vitamins that we need to support liver detoxification. And on top of that, we typically add in a lot of harmful toxins and chemicals like alcohol and chemicals that are in all of these processed foods that are so readily available to us. So what I am doing to support myself throughout this liver detoxification is I'm going to be adding in Nuethic's Medipure, which actually has an amazing nutrient profile of all of the nutrients, vitamins, and minerals that I need to support myself through phase 1 and phase 2 detoxification. And on top of that, I'm going to be pretty much being on like a Mediterranean diet. So I'm gonna do no alcohol, no caffeine, no gluten, no dairy, and more of a low FODMAP diet for the next 14 to 21 days. If you're not sure what low FODMAP means, it is types of carbohydrates that are difficult for the digestive system to break down. So I'm going to be sticking more so to a low FODMAP diet just because I too have a history of gut health issues. So I want to be able to reduce as much inflammation in my body and make sure I'm really supporting that liver detoxification. So on top of these dietary changes that I'm making and adding in this supplement, I also just want to prioritize taking care of my body. So the other big two things that we want to make sure we're paying attention to is stress management and sleep. So we want to reduce stress as much as possible, which means trying to, manage your time, set boundaries, cutting out any really stressful exercise, so not doing a ton of HIIT cardio or really strenuous exercise. Maybe opt for going for a walk first thing in the morning. This can actually put your body into a parasympathetic state and bring those stress levels down. So going for a walk instead of doing sprints or HIIT or something like that, doing some yoga flow, things like that are going to help keep stress levels down instead of constantly raising your cortisol and raising those stress levels. Also work on sleep hygiene, getting a good bedtime routine so you can be getting 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep. So all of these things are going to help decrease inflammation in your body and help support this natural liver detoxification. So I am on day 2, and I will be doing this, like I said, for 14 to 21 days to help just naturally detox all of those hormones out of my body, decrease inflammation in my body, and hopefully set myself up for a really successful natural cycle.